Ladies and gentlemen, and anyone hanging around on the stream, we are, well, 2 minutes to game time. By the time the 2 minute delay catches up, this will be the exact game time. But we've got the lobby filled up with 9-inch males, and I have been talking to the captain of Too Many Creeps. He is currently in a pub game right now, but it looks like it's pretty damn close to ending. So as soon as him/his team is done, they'll hop over and jump in the lobby, and we'll be ready to go. So I can expect this game getting going any time in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'll try to keep you guys updated if it does end up being any later than that. But please hang around, keep your pants on. This game is going to be happening in just a couple moments. Sorry for the delays, but you know, amateur Dota, that's what happens. We'll be ready to go, and I'll see you guys back here in just a couple minutes. Cheers. quick update yet again. The lobby is filling up. We got 9 out of 10. We're just waiting for one player from TMC, and he should be joining us any second now. That I don't think there's any delays as far as I know. So we're just sorting out who's getting first pick, who's getting which side, and we'll be underway in the next like 2-3 minutes. So hang on, it's gonna happen. We'll be right back. Oh. Oh. Hey, there we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the UGC. Man, I am a bit of a mess. I didn't even check the lighting or anything. It is nice and dark in here. But we're underway. This is the UGC League. I think we are on week 4 right now. Let me check that. Yeah. Oh, wait. It's season 4. Which week is it? Which week are we on? Dota 2 match schedule. Yeah, we're on week number 4 right now, so these teams have played 3 weeks worth of games, and they're on to their 4th out of a total 8. Right now, I actually believe that 9-inch males are undefeated. They're 6-0 so far, as are Too Many Creeps. Yeah, both teams 6-0. So whoever takes a spill in this first game here is going to be facing their first loss of the season. So definitely 2 juggernauts facing off right here. This is the North American Western Invite. So these are the cream of the crop. These are the best teams the UGC League has to offer, and like I said, both undefeated. So it is going to be a blast. But let's throw it on over to the draft. Let's get you to stop looking at my ugly mug. There we go. Bam. So straight away we've got a couple of pretty usual suspects in the first couple bands. The Undying, the Leshrac, might be seeing the Gyrocopter, might be seeing the Queen of Pain, maybe something like that. We'll see what the teams choose to do. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it. And you know, first couple bands, usually not too much to think about there. Just stuff you either absolutely hate or just big meta picks. I was actually reading a thread only a moments ago on the Dota subreddit about how disappointing it was that certain tournaments weren't showing the entire draft screen from the very beginning. But you know, a lot of that comes down to a situation exactly like this, where we sit here waiting for the first couple bans, and it's not all that surprising. It's nothing meta-breaking. It's not anything incredibly strategic. You're not seeing anything that you wouldn't already expect in the first couple bans. So kind of makes sense to jump in halfway. I like to jump in from the start because occasionally you run into kind of interesting things like this, where Too Many Creeps, well, I mean, this is just general draft strategy, but it's really cool to think about if you don't really think about the intrinsic elements of a draft. Now, if you know you have first pick, like Too Many Creeps do here, you know, they had their second ban coming up, and I'm pretty sure they were thinking, okay, well, the 4 big heroes in the meta right now are Undying, Gyrocopter, Leshrac, and Queen of Pain. Now, there are some exceptions to that. Some teams that like things over others. You know, if you're Alliance, you value Nature's Prophet over any of those, etc. But in the case of Too Many Creeps right now, those 4 heroes are kind of what you want to look out for. And so when they came out to their second ban here, knowing that they had first pick, they banned out something completely outside of that circle. They banned out the Spirit Breaker. And in banning out the Spirit Breaker, it puts 9-inch males in a position where they have to choose between Queen of Pain or Gyrocopter which one they want to end up playing against, because whichever one they don't ban is going to get picked up. So that's exactly what happens here, and Gyrocopter makes it through that first 4 ban pool. Now, 9-inch males are going to respond by picking up a Tusk, and I think Tusk fares pretty well against the Gyrocopter. I mean, if you see the cooldown coming in, you can usually just use the snowball to kind of delay it out. And of course, if Gyro runs towards you with Rocket Barrage and stuff, you can either Ice Shards him away from you, or you can just snowball and literally just sit there in the snowball until Rocket Barrage wears out. So there's a lot of potential for Tusk to just kind of game the Gyrocopter around, and I think it's a pretty good matchup. I mean, of course, there's always the range versus melee, and you know, you end up in scenarios where Tusk just has that ability on cooldown, and you end up in a bit of a painful scenario. But Tusk, definitely a great hero, and I think I was actually watching ESL 1 the other day, and I think Nahaz said he is the most successful competitive hero this patch. I think he was 34 and 17 or something like that, like 50% more wins than losses, which is actually absurd. It's crazy how strong that is, and I'm super happy because Tusk was for a long time, one of my favorite heroes. I rock the Tusk Announcer pack ever since I got it on release. Like, that man is my hero. I freaking love Tusk. I used to play him mid a lot, and now I start playing him in the off lane, and it's just friggin' awesome. I have so much fun on this hero. And now my pubs are just filled with joy and delight over this walrus punching mofo. I actually found out yesterday that Tusk has a nice line. When he punches Storm Spirit, he says fruit punch. And I could not stop laughing at that. I was cracking up until the end of that game, even though I lost horribly and it was just painful. But anyways, next couple picks coming up, and I've just been, rapping on about this awesome frickin' walrus that we've got here in the draft. But Lion and Tidehunter are going to be the next two pickups here. Lion for 9-inch males and Tidehunter for too many creeps. It's a little bit interesting. We don't see a lot of Tidehunter in this meta, and it's because he doesn't have the sustained teamfight damage that a lot of the kind of new meta heroes are capable of dealing. I mean, Leshrac, Queen of Pain, Gyrocopter, they all have big AoE abilities that they can continually use throughout a fight. The Queen of Pain, sure, she uses her ultimate, but if she has an Egg Scepter, it's only a 40-second cooldown, and sometimes you can make two of those happen in a single team fight. As well, you got Scream of Pain, which is like, what, 8-second cooldown? Something ridiculous like that. So there's actually a lot of potential for Queen of Pain to get to just do more damage throughout a fight. And Tidehunter doesn't really fit that role. He jumps in, he blows his load, he throws everything he's got, and then he's got huge cooldowns that he has to deal with. So really, to pick a Tidehunter in this meta means you really have to play around his cooldowns. You can't just go in and fight willy-nilly like a lot of these matches we've been seeing in this meta, where it's just constant brawling, fight after fight after fight. You just can't do that with Tidehunter. You gotta wait it out, make sure that you always have Ravage up whenever you engage. So it's gonna slow the game down a little bit for TMC, but if they pick heroes that are more late game geared, I think they're gonna be just fine with that. So we'll see how that plays out throughout the rest of the draft, but Anti-Mage, Zeus, Razor, and Lina all banned out here. I'm curious about the Razor ban. It looks like maybe 9-inch males are setting up for some sort of a strong melee carry. Perhaps we're going to be seeing an Alchemist, maybe a Naix here or something like that. You usually don't ban out the Razor unless you're going to go for something like that. I'm actually really curious to see what they're thinking. That Lina ban as well, it's that's a little more of a meta ban. It's like, oh, okay, Lina's a strong hero, but seeing as the Lina ban went with the Razor ban, I'm thinking maybe they have something up their sleeves. We'll see what that ends up being in just a second. Actually, I'll be right back. I need to fill up my water right before we get this game going. I realized I don't have any, and that is going to suck if I have to cast the whole game without water. I'll be 2 seconds. Shadow Fiend, that's really awesome. We'll come back to that in a second.
Seconds remaining.
Alright, I am back with my wonderfully large theater-sized cup of popcorn with a big Optimus Prime on the side of it.
Reserve time.
Alright, so I didn't actually miss anything. Shadow Fiend was picked up right before I left to grab my Awada. So Shadow Fiend may be the hero that they were trying to ban the Razor for. I don't know. But Shadow Fiend, really good hero nonetheless. And when you pick a good roaming support duo like the Tusk Lion, like Earthshaker plus anything, like Shadow Demon plus anything, it really gives you a lot of confidence to be able to pick that Shadow Fiend, because he's a hero that needs to dominate the mid lane. And if he's getting ganked, you're in a lot of trouble. So you need to make sure that your supports can rotate in and help out. S2Han in chat asks, is this pro? These are not pro teams, however, these are very, very high-ranked teams in the UGC League. These are, they're in the invite division of an amateur league. So, basically, these are the cream of the crop, the semi-pro, pro-amateur, whatever you want to call them. These are like, if you want to tier the teams like EG, Vici, or Tier 1, these guys are like Tier 4, Tier 5. So, I think I don't want to spout out numbers because I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, the average MMR in this game is probably just below 5k, like 4.8, 4.9, something like that. So, yeah, it's these guys are... I would definitely call them semi-pro. These are a very organized group of guys. They know how to play Dota. We're going to see some exciting games here. So it is an amateur tournament, but this is the very, very top echelons of this amateur tournament. So yeah, the different divisions we've got in the UGC League here. We've got the Invite, Steel, and then Iron. And those are we have different divisions for different regions in the world, but this is the Western Invite, and then there is the NA Steel and then NA Iron. NA Iron being the lowest, Steel being the middle, and then the Invite being the top cream of the crop. Everybody who the admins invited personally to come play in this league. So these guys are the top tier. Anyways, back to the draft. I'm missing a lot while I'm talking about that, but Winter Wyvern picked up by TMC here, and this is a pick we've actually seen coming into fruition quite a bit lately. It's been pretty popular at ESL 1, and rightfully so. I mean, she's got a lot of power to just keep people alive, so you can draft heroes that are a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more active in team fights, and they're going to be largely okay with just brawling it out. Templar Assassin, one of those heroes that does very well like that, and I think this is going to be a fairly good pickup for 9-inch males so far. I mean, the Templar Assassin does really well against the Shadow Fiend, or 4 too many creeps against 9-inch males. Templar Assassin does really well against the Shadow Fiend, and there's not too much on 9-inch males right now that can really break refraction easily. Now, we might see that change with this last coming pick here. The Tusk Lion is interesting to me. I'm not sure how 9-inch males wants to run their supports versus their offlane. If I had to hazard a guess, I would think that they're going to put the Tusk plus the Beastmaster in the offlane. Or maybe just the Beastmaster offlane and then the Tusk Lion roaming. That's probably more likely. But we have been seeing a lot more of these weird duo lanes, especially with the Tusk, because he combos so well with so many heroes. But I don't think Beastmaster is one of those heroes. I think Beastmaster prefers to keep his distance and use the boars and use the axes to kind of pick stuff off. So I think Tusk and Lion are probably going to be doing the roaming. Beastmaster is going to be sitting in the off lane, and then Medusa is going to be used to kind of secure that safe lane. And having a strong, durable ranged hero down on bottom means that the Tusk and the Lion can go roam around a lot. And Sand King is going to be the final pickup for too many creeps here. So a lot of teamfight potential on TMC so far, and they've got huge AoE between the Winter's Curse, the Ravage, we've got Sand King Epicenter, things like that. Of course, the Gyrocopter cooldown and stuff. So I think if Templar Assassin doesn't get completely owned on mid lane, which I really don't think she should, there's not too much to shut her down, TMC are going to have a great mid game once they get their ultimates up. But we'll see how that goes as the rest of this game progresses. But we're going to be loading in here in just a second as soon as 9-inch males pick out their heroes. Having a little bit of a moment to discuss who's going to be playing what, but yeah, I really like this draft here. They've got a lot of carry potential, and I think if the game goes late enough, they're gonna own the game pretty hard just because of the potential of that Dusa and the Shadow Fiend. But that has yet to be seen. The Dusa is gonna need a lot of room to farm, and if she gets roamed on heavily early, it could be trouble. But anyways, let's introduce the teams while they have their ceremonial 1-minute pause. I don't think I've ever been in a game of Dota that hasn't had a pause at minute 1, so I'm just going to call it ceremonial. Maybe everyone prays to the Dota gods at minute 1. I don't frickin' know what's going on. But anyways, Monster going to be taking the Shadow Fiend over towards the mid lane. He's got that sexy, sweet Arcana. We've got a life. Get a life. It's like alive, except it's not. He's going to be playing the Beastmaster, likely over towards that offlane there. Burden going to be playing the Tusk, and he'll be roaming around the map with Lion. That is going to be played by Persian Prince. And then we've got Princess over on the Medusa. Up towards the top right-hand corner, we've got Bella going to be taking on the Winter Wyvern. We've got Bren going to be taking the Gyrocopter, Michael on the Templar Assassin, Anacletus on the Tidehunter, and Rahul over on the Sand King. 10 names that I can actually pronounce. This is freaking awesome, man. That's awesome. I never get this. People always have stupid names with big characters, and oh my god, it's Chinese characters and stuff. It's just obnoxious. Someone's asking, how do you play in the UGC League? Head on over to UGCLeague.com. You can register your team there and get signed up. You'll likely be placed in either the Steel or Iron divisions. The invite is, like I said, an invite division only, so if you've gone through NA Steel and you've just decimated the competition, you're top of the class, and you win the league there, you'll likely be invited to the Western Invite in the following season. So, Invite is, like I said, an invite-only division. However, you can you can sign up for any of the other leagues. I'm not sure, like, we're in the middle of a season right now, so I don't think signups are going to be open for another few weeks. We're in week 4 of an 8-week season, so it'll be another month and a half or so until we start hearing news about UGC League Season 5. But, you know, that's we'll hear that eventually. Anyways, getting back to the game, focusing on that and seeing what's going to happen here. It looks like the teams are just going to trade off on the bounty runes here. There is a... wait. Oh, there... I saw, like, the red on the back of this Beastmaster boar, and I was like, there's a Lycan Wolf scouting around, he's just going to see this Tide Hunter, and then I realized, I was like, there's no Lycan. Who picked Lycan? And then it clicked in. It's one of these, it's this stupid cosmetic for this boar. I hate this cosmetic so much. It's not even a boar anymore, it's just... It looks like one of the critters that you'd see running around a map in StarCraft 2. Like, I don't even know. It doesn't look like a Beastmaster thing, but whatever. Anyways, up towards an offlane. It is actually going to be an offlane Tusk, so they're going to run a support Beastmaster. I should have checked the items and checked that out to begin with, but this is something I've seen a couple teams doing. I think it was actually seen once in ESL, but it really is a weird... I don't know. It's weird how it gets played out because... Beastmaster really needs a lot of levels to make his creeps work for him. I mean, I wouldn't call the Hawk useful until, like, level 3. Wait, when does he get the invis? Is that level 2 or 3? At level 3 and beyond, the Hawk becomes invisible. Yeah, so you need to get to at least level 5 before I would say that your Hawk is really anything good. And, you know, Beastmaster really doesn't have much until that level 5. And, oh. They're warding off the camp because they think that there's a ward in here, but it looks like it must have just been body blocked by someone walking a little too close to the camp. That's, and actually, oh man, I think Beastmaster actually blocked it oh, wait. Oh, this is a Dire Sentry. Never mind. I am not a smart man. I thought that was a Radiant Sentry. I'm like, oh, he screwed it up. But no, it's not the case. Anyways, let's check in on this mid lane here. Looks like the TA is winning the CS battle for now, but it's kind of to be expected with this matchup. I mean, she has a lot of damage at early levels, but Shadow Fiend kind of, his damage just multiplies as the game goes on. So we'll see him start to gain more and more damage the more last hits he gets, and sure enough, he grabs himself a couple more there, up to 11 souls now. But he really needs to get one more last hit to round out his bottle. This is a really dangerous position to be in as a Shadow Fiend. If you end up... Okay, so he's going to find a bounty rune, and that's going to secure him the bottle. But yeah, if you spend all of your raise mana that you start the game with, and you don't have your bottle yet, you can be in loads of trouble as a Shadow Fiend. You know, you just kind of end up in a position where you have to sit there, and you can't last hit for fear of dying. But you know, you just kind of have to hold out until you get your bottle, and usually it just comes through passive gold. So thankfully he was able to snag a bounty rune there, and didn't have to sit around and wait for you know, 30 gold of passive to tick by. So Shadow Fiend in a little bit of a better position now as he fills up his bottle and sends it back on that beautiful Faceless Rex courier. So it'll be heading back, and we'll fill him back up with mana in a couple seconds. But Boot's now up on the TA, so she's going to play a little more of a zoning game as she moves forward here. Starts to try to get inside him, get in Monster's face, and avoids a couple raises there with that refraction. Up towards the top lane, let's check in on this Tusk here. He's wonderful, beautiful Walrus man. He's going to be hanging out up in the top lane, and he is getting kited around, well, yeah, kited around by Bella here, but Creep Wave's going to come in and save him for now. He's getting decent experience. I think he's level 2. What is the Tide Hunter? Where is the Tide? Oh, Tide went for a big walk around here. I saw him like heading over towards the Ancients, and then he like walked down into the river, and then he came through the jungle and he's just kind of doing his own thing. But, yeah, it looks like he's going to go camp out the 4-minute rune. Yeah, he's been stacking the Ancients for himself so that he can go get that boost. So, Tusk has a little bit less XP than the Tidehunter, not by too much, but the Tide will, of course, have those Ancients to fall back on if he needs it. So, bottom rune going to get grabbed by the TA here. That is a regen. That's going to be beautiful for her. She's almost out of mana and is pretty low on health, so she'll probably go back into lane, trade some hits with the Shadow Fiend, try to get her health as low as possible. No, maybe not. Okay. I guess she was just waiting for that refraction to pop up, but yeah. When you get a regen rune, you always want to kind of min-max how much you get out of it, and a lot of times you can do that by just, you know, kind of running at your opponent, making a trade that won't quite kill you, but it'll just do, like, mutual huge damage, and then at that point you can just pop the regen, and you're in a much better position. But, oh my god, this stack, this Shadow Fiend's about to become so wealthy. Ho, ho, ho! Yeah, it picks up, what was that, like 400 gold from that, and he's still got a lot of big creeps to go. Up on top, we got Bella stack in the jungle as well. So both teams being really diligent about making sure that that jungle gold is being put to good use. Now, a lot of the jungle gold on the side of TMC. Whoa, I am missing an engagement here. Tidehunter finds himself a little bit too close to that camp. Tries to eke it out, but doesn't end up finding it, and ends up being the first blood as Lion and Shadow Fiend find him, and I think a couple spells later, Tidehunter falls inside the enemy jungle. So, unfortunate there. Yeah, I wish I had seen that entire brawl there, but yeah, he's been really active about walking around the jungle, trying to disturb the supports and see what he can make happen in that enemy jungle there, and it looks like he just pushed it a little too far there. But, oh yeah, his Ancients have actually been blocked here. The Radiant side walked over here, dropped a sentry inside of his Ancients, and, yeah, Bella's going to try to stack it here, but, oh, this is going to be really unfortunate because Bella stacked it a little bit late. I think he pulled at 54, and if you pull that late, sometimes it's a question of whether or not the creeps block each other, and it ends up being a little bit of a murky zone as to whether or not you get the stack off. So he's probably going to walk back over here and think, oh crap, I just got it too late. He's not going to realize that, oh hey, I pulled a 52 and it didn't stack, there's got to be a ward here. So this ward will probably stand for another full minute until, you know, and who knows, maybe right until it, right until that ward pops on its own. Yeah, Sand King got himself a nice fat stack here. He's only got 2 Mud Golems, so one spawn of Mud Golems, and the rest are nice and easy to kill. And Hard Camp not stacked at all, but yeah. Sand King should be well on his way to his Blink Dagger. I think we're probably going to be seeing about an 11-12 minute Blink Dagger if he keeps farming at this rate. They're doing a really good job at stacking for him, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, I forgot to mention when we started out this game here, I've got the best of 3 ticker up here, but that's just so that the games are organized nicely in the client. This is a 2-game series, so we're going to be playing 2 games. Whichever team wins takes a point in each game, so we have the potential to go 1-1 or 2-0 in either direction. So keep that in mind as we continue through this series. Still lagging. Bleh. Beastmaster's AFK. Please? Please? It's funny. Yeah, this Beastmaster, he really hasn't done all that much. I mean, I think... I don't know. I was just trying to say, like, maybe he's been stacking with the boar and stuff, and I think that actually is what's been happening. Yeah, he's going to spawn a boar over here, and that's going to stay alive for a full minute, so he's going to get a stack out of that. And this guy going to die pretty quickly, but, you know, that's pretty much all this Beastmaster can do right now. And he's bought himself a smoke, and so he's going to smoke up with his boar, maybe? Yeah, I think he's going to pull this, smoke with the boar, and maybe try to get in on the TA, but TA is teleporting down to bottom and has an invis. She's going to pop that off immediately, and they're working in towards Princess here. Will they find her? What does she have for mana shield? She has no points in mana shield. She is super vulnerable right now. Gonna pop the TA trap, chasing in on her. Actually levels up 2 points in the mana shield right there. And now, there goes the ultimate. She's gonna run into the tree. She's gonna survive for now. Beastmaster teleports in to help out. And they freeze up Michael, but can't even break through the refraction. And both the Tidehunter, the TA, and the Medusa live in that engagement. I really didn't expect all of them to get out scot-free on that one. But looks like the Medusa was just hanging on to a bunch of skill points. When I clicked on her, she had 2 points in Mystic Snake, and I thought she might have been going like the Mystic Snake Mystic Snake Snats build. The Mystic Snake Stats build. But no, she wasn't. She got ganked and immediately threw 2 points into Mana Shield and 1 point into Stone Gaze. And quick fingers, I guess. Maybe something was messed up on my client. I don't see any reason why you would hold on to 4 stat points, but or 4 skill points. I don't know. I guess she did.
Dire's top
But
tower is under attack.
yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh man. Snot points.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's funny
under
because it
attack.
sounds like snot points. Snot comes out of your nose. Tidehunter going to work on those ancients now. Still hasn't figured out that it's warded off, but he's going to clear it nonetheless, and isn't going to be taking too much damage. I think with 2 points in Kraken Shell, the only thing that damages you is this ancient black dragon here. Actually, wait, yeah, I think it's just the dragon that gets through the Kraken Shell blocks. So he should be pretty durable in sitting there and farming those up. We got 3 smoked up here, and they're moving their way in towards the Ancients. I think they should have seen this. Yeah, they know Tide's there, but he spots them and walks up to the high ground. He should be able to walk away from this just fine. Lion can't get in range for a Hex, and instead they're just going to sit there and farm it up, and, I mean, yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, you don't want this Tide hitting 6, and you don't want him grabbing his Blink Dagger, and this is how you do it. But Lion finds himself in a little bit too deep, and he really has nowhere to run. He's going to try to juke through the trees. He does have a TP scroll available to him, and there we go. He's going to use it, and oh my god, the Anchor Smash was so close to dropping him to death, but no, he gets out, and that is one happy Lion. A nice little jukes there. If I were him, I think I might have gone a little bit further, gone like snuck in here or something. He knew the Wyvern was chasing him, and he chose that really risky TP right there, but does get out nonetheless, so well played by him. Now on bottom lane, Medusa continues to farm up a Storm, being beaten in last hits. Oh, actually, Gyrocopter was beating him, but Tusk goes for a dive, Tusky Punchy, in onto that Gyrocopter, and brings him down under his own tower. So that's the power of the Tusk, man. That Ice Shards damage, you can't underestimate that. That is a 280 damage nuke, and we are nearing in on Ice Shards being a incredibly mana-efficient nuke. I mean, Shockwave, I think, is the... Magnus's Shockwave, I think, is the highest mana to damage ratio of any mid laner's nuke, and you know the Ice Shards is getting pretty damn close to that amount of damage. I think it's 40 less. I think it's 320 at max rank on Shockwave. So yeah, that stuff's potent. You throw out 1 or 2 of those, and then you go for a snowball punch, and that's pretty much a guaranteed kill. So. Well played by the Tusky there, gets a kill on the enemy carry, and the Medusa continues to farm, and like I said before we jumped over there, Medusa was only behind the Gyrocopter by a couple last hits, so that kill right her ahead at 72, only being led by her Shadow Fiend, who has been farming up an absolute storm. We see him hanging around up on the whoops, clicked on the wrong thing there, but they're going in on the Sand King, and he gets a Burrow Strike up to the high ground. Is not going to get held in place by those Ice Shards, so Sand King gets out of that, but Shadow Fiend is up here, like I mentioned before, and gets a couple good raises, but not enough to finish off the Gyrocopter. 3 still hanging around up top. I don't know what this creep is doing.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This creep is so lost, man. He doesn't have a purpose in life. Did someone Helmet the Dom him? Oh, that was probably... Wait. Okay, yeah, Gyrocopter Helmet the Dominated that. I was like, what is this creep doing? He's confused, man. But yeah, okay. Yeah, Shadow Fiend's been farming up Storm. He's got a mechanism now, and he's just pushing with his team. They make their way up towards the off lane first, try to get a gank on this Gyrocopter, push him out of lane, and TMC know there's no way that they can fight this right now. They can't fight against the mechanism. They barely have level 6 on their Tidehunter, and they can't get him into position for a Ravage. So instead, they just back off. They farm up their stacks in their jungle, make sure their jungle's clear of anything so that they don't get invaded, and then they move their way around to their other towers to hopefully defend on mid. They lost their bottom lane as well. So Dusa just rolling in gold here. Got a Yasha coming out to her right off the bat. So not opting for a Midas or any of that ultra late game shenanigans, but that Midas or that Yasha will help her farm up quite considerably as we continue on in this game. Push coming in towards mid now, and once again, TMC, I think they realize they cannot fight this, so they're going to back it up, stay away. They do have the double damage on TA if they want to come in, but they're so close to a Blink Dagger on this Sand King, and they're just in so much danger of getting snowballed, getting torn apart here, and we even see that here as the Tusk is just kind of posing a threat for them. He throws out the Ice Shards. He's right there. They know if they go in, they're going to get snowballed, and Michael gets himself a little far forward. He's going to get Refraction broken off by that boar, but you know, there's no way TMC can fight yet, so they're waiting until they get that Blink Dagger on the Sand King. They're waiting until they get... Actually, whoa. Okay, so Sand King, he's still holding on to a skill point. Hasn't skilled Epicenter quite yet, but I think he'll probably spend that point as soon as he gets the guaranteed Blink Dagger here. I think unless you get the Blink Dagger, the Epi's not worth it. So I think he's holding on to that to make sure he doesn't die or anything, lose that gold, and he's got it now. 1,500 gold on the Tidehunter, so he's getting pretty close to his Blink. Not quite there yet, though. He needs about another 700, and although he is level 7, he's still not going to be able to get a Ravage off against this team. Even if he does, it's not going to be very overwhelming until he can get right in the middle of absolutely everyone. If you see the Tide walking in, there's too much that NIM can do to just save themselves. I mean, you can get the Roar on the Tide to keep him back. You can get the Medusa just pop up for ultimate, and then even if the Ravage lands, it doesn't really matter. You can also have the Tusk snowball and save people. So that's it's really hard to get that Ravage without the surprise factor. Dusk roaming down into the river right now. He's going to find himself an Illusion Rune, and will get spotted out by that TA trap. So they know he's up on the top half of the map, but a 5-man smoke coming out here from TMC. They're going to see that illusion there, but they don't fall for the bait. They don't attack it. They're going to walk right underneath this sigil. And Tusk is really, really far back, but this Beastmaster, if they check out the trees, he might be in trouble, but he's in a very unexpected position. I doubt they'd actually check that. So they look around, they check all the trees by the side shop, but no such luck, and that smoke gank goes completely unsuccessful. Down in the bottom lane, 9-inch males are going to continue to push and might get themselves some damage on this tier 2 tower here. Might trade it for the tier 1. I don't think there's too much to stop him unless Burden wants to hang around up here and throw out some Ice Shards just to kind of hold out the wave. But yeah, Princess going to work on the bottom tower. There's a boar here. There's a Shadow Fiend. So looks like we're probably going to have a trade, a tier 1 for a tier 2. Not the best trade that TMC could be making right now. But, well, I mean, not the best trade, but I think it's the only one they can be making right now. I mean, there's no tier 2s for them to take right now. They don't even have a tier 1, so the only thing that I think might have been better is if they could take the mid tier 1, but even then, they're not actually going to get top. They're going to defend bottom, and Sand King drops really, really low as he dives into a fight that he just was not ready for, and it looks like he gets blown up by a couple raises, walks away with a near sliver of health. And TMC defend their bottom tier 2, but they lose a considerable amount of damage on it. All it really takes right now is this Dusa pushing up when the pressure's elsewhere on the map to finish off this tower. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Burden finds himself the Winter Wyvern, not able to hold her in place that Ice Shards as she's got the flying movement, and she walks away with just a small sliver of health, but yeah. Burden successful in pushing her out, and farms up a couple creeps up on his tier 1 tower, which remains standing. Ancient stacked up, looks like 3 times, so if Tide makes his way over there, he can get that farm. He is farming up jungle stacks right now. This should get him really close to his Blink Dagger. I think this will put him within 100 gold of it. Actually, yeah, probably within... yeah. Okay, so yeah, puts him at 2,000 flat, so a couple more camps and he'll have the Blink, but... This 9-inch males draft is looking very, very scary in, you know, in their... why can't I talk today? their farm. Like, their farm is just impeccable right now. At 16 minutes, they've got 130 last hits on both their mid and their safe laner. Gonna go down on bottom, trying to disrupt this stack, and they're gonna go for a snowball right in onto the gyrocopter. Finger of death on him immediately, but the cold embrace is there to help him out, and the epicenter turns it back around. They get 2 kills. Beastmaster, Shadow Fiend, and Lion all down to begin with, and now they're looking for the Deuces. She doesn't have much mana left, and the TA is trying to finish her off. Is there enough damage? One more attack. Oh, they do get the Deuce. Tusk trying to TP out. He's the only person to survive, but TMC turn that fight around in miraculous fashion and bring themselves up to be the leaders on the kill boards right now. 3-4 the score, and all 4 of those kills found in that one engagement there. Most importantly, they keep this stack alive, which means that the TA or the Tide or anyone, the gyrocopter, can walk over there and farm that up in a couple minutes. Beautiful team fight there. That tanking initiation turned it all around. We still have 3 heroes getting clumped up in this little area of trees right here, and the Burrow Strike hit them all. Epicenter channeling off, and you know the mech, it just wasn't enough to save 9-inch males. So beautiful team fight there. We got a game on our hands, friends. I was just saying as they were walking up that the farm between the Shadow Fiend and the Dusa was really, really scary, but you know, TMC showing what their team fight potential can do on this team. Now down here towards the river, Michael getting caught out here, but a Burrow Strike catches 2. Lions there with a equally strong Earth Spike, and Hastering going to get grabbed by TA. She is still going to be able to maneuver around, but the Sand King finds himself stuck inside of a creep camp, and Shadow Fiend will be the one to finish him off with a right click. So 4-4, and like I said, we got a game on our hands, friends. Gyrocopter going to go back to farming this up, and hopefully this will get him his Yasha as soon as he finishes killing these off. And man, TMC has really had to work to defend these stacks. Their Tidehunter got forced off of them earlier, and the Shadow Fiend farmed them up, and now you know, their Gyrocopter gets forced off the Ancients, but at least they were able to defend it the second time around. Another stack in the jungle here, going to get cleared out by the Tusk. So much gold on this map, actually. Now that I think about it, like, both teams have stacked so much because both teams have such stack-dependent heroes. We got the Shadow Fiend, the Medusa, both of which are really, really good at farming stacks. And then you got the TA, the Gyrocopter, and the Tidehunter. So both teams have just been on their game, creating a bunch of extra gold on this map. And that's gonna make for a really rich mid game. I mean rich in terms of item value. We're gonna have a lot of heroes with a lot of items, and right now we see Blink Dagger on both the Sand King and the Tidehunter. And there we go, smoke up for TMC. They're ready to go. They're roaming through their jungle. I think they know that the Tusk is in here. They've seen him farming their stuff up, and hopefully for them they find him. I'm not a bias caster. Oh, quick blink out. What did he see? What did he see? Oh, they're going to jump right in. Ravage going to be the first thing to go off. He's going to channel out the snowball. Hopefully keep him alive for a couple seconds. And the Wyvern walks a little bit too far away, and he's going to blink up towards the high ground. Tusk gets out. They blow the Ravage for it, and he escapes. That's why the Blink Dagger is great on this hero. I mean, doesn't provide you with any of that extra damage, but damn will it save your life. Still curious about this Beastmaster. He's been doing a really good job at stacking and scouting with the boar, but has he really contributed anything to any of these fights? Like, I don't think I've seen him use Roar once, and axes, they're not really doing much. Down on bottom, like, oh. Deuce getting baited into throwing out her ultimate, and TA instantly pops the haste rune and just runs away. So, Stone Gaze on cooldown for now, and that means that TMC, maybe they can take a fight. I mean, they are down the Ravage, but they still have the Epicenter. They still have the Winter's Curse. Man, I always get confused between these two. It's like Winter's Embrace, Cold's Curse. I don't know. Winter's Curse, Cold Embrace. Tusk punch out onto Michael, and they're chasing him down. They got the shards up, and that all goes through the refraction, but turning it back around with a great Epicenter. Shadow Fiend, he's got his Black King bar up, but it's not going to be enough. The physical damage is going out from the Templar Assassin, but he turns back around. One raise will finish off TA. 3 for 2 right now, and the Deuce is in on the back lines trying to bring down Bren, but it's not going to happen before that, before she gets distracted by that missile, and it's going to be a 3-for-2 engagement. That all happened really, really quickly. I wasn't able to get the good play-by-play on that, but we end up with a 1,500 gold swing in favor of TMC. So although they lost their Templar Assassin and their Shadow Fiend, their Sand King, they took the Shadow Fiend, the Tusk, and the Beastmaster with them. And I think they're happy with that trade. Especially for a fight without Ravage. I think if they had had Ravage, that would have been disgustingly in the favor of TMC. But, you know. First Black King Bar charge used on Shadow Fiend as well, and it still doesn't guarantee that he lives. So, going for an ultra durable build here with the mechanism and the Black King Bar, but is still not enough, and that Templar Assassin was able to just rip through him. He had a double damage active too, so all of those things together, and I really would have predicted beforehand that the Shadow Fiend gets away with that fight, but just didn't manage to happen. I mean, that Meld Strike from the TA brought his armor down, and the continued damage from the Gyrocopter just finished him off. Dusa now working towards a Manta style. She's got it pretty close to done here, just about 450-ish gold until that is going to be up on her. Actually, so she went the Yasha straight into a Scotty. She's got the full thing on the courier. Bella going to get caught out here as she's going for a D-ward. And those boars going to finish off the dewarding job here as a sentry is dropped by the Beastmaster. Yeah, there we go. So, we're going to clear that out, and I mean, that is the nice thing about the support Beastmaster, is that he is one of very few melee supports that can deward like this, and that's of course thanks to his summons. This goes for Snowball, just in on the creep wave here. Just going to clear that out. Going for this max Frozen Sigil build, and you know, there's always that little bit of a debate in every Tusk player's mind whether you max W or you max the E, and I think this game he figured that slowing down that Gyrocopter's attack speed and disrupting the team fight was a little more useful than getting that little bit of extra burst damage on Snowball. The way they've reworked Snowball, it really is just the damage that you get from leveling up. You do get a little bit more stun duration, but the movement speed is the same. The movement speed per extra hero, I think, is actually. Do you get movement speed per extra hero? I can't remember how they reworked that ability. It used to be that you got more movement speed and more damage per extra hero that was in it. Now I think it's just more damage per extra hero, but the speed is constant. And the speed is always based off of your base speed. So if you have a haste rune, it goes faster. I don't freaking know. The ability's weird. They changed how it worked, but it's all good. Got a couple heroes smoked up, but TA, the Gyrocopter, have exposed themselves, so not going to be too much of a surprise when this fight breaks out here. TA just going to go forward, charge up, and tank up that tower. They bring it down. Bren is going to get the last hit on that, so a nice healthy chunk of change goes into his pocket there, and they're going to continue on towards that tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, though, Princess moves in, finished up. Did she kill a bottom tower? No, that's been dead for a while. Okay, so the tier 2 goes down, and more pressure coming in on the mid tier 2. So looks like they're happy trading this mid for top. I think the off lane are the least valuable towers. It's really good. Oh, Ravage goes out, only catches the Dusa though, as the Black King Bar is good from Shadow Fiend. He's going to go in, starts raising in on Bren, and they've got him perma-stunned out because of that roar. The Gyrocopter is going to be the first to fall. This tower, one hit away from death, but nobody's finishing it off. Sand King jumps in, gets a good Burrow Strike, but he's going to fall on the back end to the Medusa. Now going on to Michael. Michael's going to drop, and they're looking for Bella. Can they grab her before she gets back into her base? Doesn't look like they have anything to lock her down, but are they going to continue to dive? Doesn't look like it. They get 4, and they're happy to push the racks. There's buybacks on 2, but do they want to spend them? I think they might have to. Losing a Rax this early could be insanely detrimental. There goes the tower. Rax is going to start getting worked on, and that double damage rune from the Shadow Fiend just doing work. That's 2 fights in a row he's had a DD active for, and that is thanks in large part to NIM's pressure. This isn't TMC picking fights at a bad time. This is 9-inch males charging forward, getting super aggressive with their play when they know they can win a fight. And, you know, the last time he had that DD rune, it didn't quite work out just because of the way the team fight played out. But this time, it goes miraculously. They get 4 for nothing. They get themselves a set of racks. And I was about to say Roshan, but they do shy away from going to Roshas. I think the spawns from TMC are going to be a little bit too quick. GG, are they calling it? Don't call it. Come on, play it out. They're going to call it. Okay. All right, so I think like I said, the late game was pretty damn scary on 9-inch Malez, and I think after losing the racks that quickly, TMC realized that they were going to have a huge mountain to climb to get back into this game. They didn't have anything to deal with the Dusa, and I think this could be kind of attributed to the draft as well. I mean, Dusa was just such a strong pick. There was nothing to really eat through the nothing to eat through that mana. I mean, you've got a lot of damage between the gyro and the TA, but it's definitely not enough once that Medusa starts picking up those big items like the Scotty, which she already had. So really well played by 9-inch Malez. They're going to be our victors in game number 1, and that's going to be the first loss of the season for TMC. But I definitely think they can give 9-inch Malez a run for their money if they come back in game number 2. We're going to have that going live in just a couple seconds, friends. So thank you for watching, but stay tuned. We're going to throw the lobby up. It'll be a very short couple-minute break. So grab yourself a glass of water, go to the bathroom, but get right back here. This is the UGC League, and we'll be back after just a couple minutes. Cheers. Whoopsies. That's not supposed to be there. Alright. We'll see you in a couple. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UGC League. This is going to be game number 2. Now, we actually ran into an issue with one guy restarting his computer and it being a complete and total potato. So we're sitting here waiting for this guy to get going. And... okay. Alright, just a second here. Oh, empty or invalid ID. Okay, crap. Okay. Alright. Alright, so, sorry about that, friends. Basically, what we ended up having was, like I said, one guy disconnected and he was gone. His computer would not reload because it was a piece of crap. And so we were waiting to get him in, but the TMC side was understandably impatient. I think they have something going on after this. They're trying to rush it out. So they wanted to do the draft while we waited for this other guy. And so we were like looking at this website that lets you draft on the website so that we could keep the lobby up. But I was like about to switch over to the website, and then they were like, let's just do it in client and rehost. So, yeah, so they kind of caught me off guard. But anyways, we're back into the draft. We're going to do the draft, and then we'll rehost, get that 5th guy in here, and we'll just keep that same draft in an all-pick game. So, let's hop over to the draft screen, and you guys can watch this in progress. As you can see, NIM is only 4 players right now. They're missing Persian Prince. But he should be back as soon as the computer loads back up, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. But yeah, we're gonna have we'll have 10 minutes or so while we watch this draft, and then we'll be on to the next. We'll be on to the next lobby. We'll rehost it, get her going, and then we should be back and ready to go. But anyways, getting into this game, 9-inch Malez got to ban out the Leshrac and actually the Shadow Fiend, which they ran to great success last game. So Tusk and Undying going to be banned out here by the side of TMC. Too many creeps. And yeah, Tusk, he actually, okay, so both teams... oh, no, sorry. The Tusk was run by 9-inch Malez last game. So fearing that pickup, especially since it was 9-inch Malez' first pick, that's going to get banned out. But that leaves a lot open in the pool. There's still a Gyrocopter, there's still a Queen of Pain, and who's the other one that's ridiculous right now? I think that's it. Leshrac was banned out there as well. So Queen of Pain going to be the first pick up here by 9-inch Malez, and yeah, that leaves the Gyrocopter available for TMC if they want it. But of course that is an if they want it, and they're going to pick up the Lion first. Still potential for the Gyro if they want it, but they're going to have to. Well, they're going to wait for a second and see. But still a lot of time left between their reserve and their pick time, so a lot to make out of this. But I do really like the Lion against the Queen of Pain. It works wonders. I mean, Queen of Pain is such a mobility-based hero, not a huge health pool. So a Lion with that Finger of Death, the Hex, the Earth Spike, etc. He's just a walking ball of crowd control, and you know, he really messes with the Queen of Pain. She really has to get the jump on him to be able to. And to be able to get the kill, and sometimes that includes an Orchid, sometimes it just includes a lot of burst damage, but if Lion's on his game, Queen of Pain shouldn't be too big a threat to him. Now the Bounty Hunter is an interesting pickup, taking this second in the draft. It's not a hero we see very often, and can usually be waited on until later stages in the draft, but it looks like TMC is confident in this Bounty pick, and regardless of whether or not they get, you know, they get countered with some stealth detectors of... well, whether or not they get countered with some stealth detectors, I don't really think they care. I think Bounty is a hero that benefits whether or not he is visible, and, you know, a good team's going to pick up a lot of sentries anyways, so, you know, I don't think you're too reliant on heroes countering the Bounty as much as you are just to outplay it. Now, the Tree of Protector is a bit of an interesting pick against the Bounty, especially because he relies a lot on Nature's Guys to not only survive, but help his teammates survive, and that's really just not going to be a factor this game. So we'll probably see Tree and Protector go like 0-4-4, well, 0-4-4, and then whatever points he wants into his ultimate. But I doubt we'll be seeing any points in Nature's Guys early on, just because, I mean, it becomes useless the second bounty hits 6, so he'll probably just try to go for the max living armor, max leech seed, try to keep everyone healthy. So, getting into the second stage of bans here, we've got the Lena banned out by 9-inch males, not wanting to have to deal with that dual zap combo of the Lion Lena, and rightfully so. I mean, those two heroes together are just, oh my god, it's deadly, and works wonders against Queen of Pain once again, like I said. So, good ban out there, I think. We'll see what, yeah. We'll see what they ban out here. I'm curious as to how this draft is going to progress for both teams. I wonder what position this bounty is going to be in. I think this is the most interesting pick of the draft. In that Bounty Hunter usually goes towards the offlane, but he does so much roaming that you can usually fit him in with another offlaner. You can go like Bounty Tusk or Bounty Broodmother or, you know, Bounty Undying over towards the offlane, and it usually works out really, really well for you. Additionally, you could just run a 4-position Bounty Hunter, which is just kind of technically designated as a support. He does a couple stack and pulls, and then as soon as he hits level 3, when he's got, like, you know, all of his spells, he can gank the mid, he can gank the offlane, he can just kind of stir up havoc around the map. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with a bounty depending on the kind of player your bounty player is. If you got a Pile Die type guy, you put him on the 4th position, you have him run around, cause a big ruckus. If you got a more aggressive Admiral Bulldog type player, you know, you put him in the offlane, you wait until he gets 6, and then he just starts racking up kills on supports as he roams around in the jungle. So there's a lot of different ways you can maneuver this hero. Now, the bans round out here with a Witch Doctor, a Spirit Breaker, and of course that Broodmother that I pointed out earlier. And it is going to be a Darkseer for too many creeps. So having that Darkseer on the field does mean that it's either going to be a dual offlane or that Bounty Hunter is going to be a 4 position. So he's going to be taking a little bit a little bit of a lower farm priority, but Bounty Hunter's still a very potent hero, and Darkseer I think will work very well in that safe lane. Now 9-inch males really has to be careful with what they draft here against this Darkseer, because of course if you draft a melee hero, you are just straight up going to lose last hits to Ion Shell, and you know, that can factor in quite heavily into what you pick. I mean, if you go for you know, if you go for a Phantom Lancer or an Anti-Mage or something, you're just going to run into a lot of issues with Ion Shell in the lane, and it could be the difference between your farm and the enemy carries. So, got to be careful about that as the draft continues on, but there are still a lot of really good ranged options available for dealing with the Darkseer. Hell, Queen of Pain could even go towards the safe lane, and she does really, really well against Ion Shell, as, you know, if you have a wave that's pushing in that's a big issue, you can just Scream of Pain it down, and you know, that's all it takes. Just Scream of Pain, a couple auto attacks, and the Ion Shell creep is gone. But Rubik going to be the first pickup here by 9-inch males of the second phase, so lots of good spells to steal. I mean, Track is a relatively easy spell to steal, so you can use that to kind of counter the Bounty Hunter as well. Lion, I mean, every spell you can steal from Lion is a good idea. Darkseer, you steal the wall, you steal the vacuum, anything's good there. Viper, though, it's an interesting pick against the Rubik. I mean, Rubik's relatively good against Viper because there's only one spell you can steal, and that is the Viper Strike. And, you know, Rubik really good with just kind of repositioning that Viper. The Telekinesis can push him back and keep him away while poison wears off and you walk away. So I don't know if a Viper was an ideal pickup here, but it makes a lot of sense because of how their draft is being built right now. I think TMC is going to rely a lot on their mid-game teamfight and snowball potential, and the Viper fits into that very, very well. I mean, once he gets in... well, actually, I'm curious as to what his items are going to be, because Mechanism is quite often seen as a core pickup for Darkseer, and interesting. Okay. Yeah, it was the... usually see a Mechanism on Darkseer, which means that Viper probably won't be getting this. So maybe we see this Viper as a one-position Viper who kind of goes for a beefier build. Maybe like Sanjin Yasha into Black King Bar or something like that. It's not a particularly popular build, but it definitely could be done. Huh. Kind of messing with my head a bit. But anyways, Anti-Mage getting picked into the Darkseer. I think this is an okay matchup as long as you... as long as your supports help deal with that Ion Shell. You're going to need the Rubik nearby auto-attacking that creep down so that Anti-Mage can swing in and take the last hit, because there is going to be a lot of pressure on this wave. If Darkseer gets a quick Soul Ring up, he's just going to be throwing the Ion Shell constantly, and Anti-Mage is going to have to deal with that. So, like I said, might be less than ideal farm on AM as the game continues, but I think the Treant Protector Living Armor will help him out quite a bit. If that... Actually, will it? I don't think it will. Because that only blocks... That'll only block physical ticks, right? Blocks and damage from all sources. Dispels when a number of damage instances are taken.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
it blocks 20, 40, 60, 80. This does 30, 50, 70, 90. So at all levels, Ion Shell breaks Living Armor instantly. Pretty much instantly. So Living Armor's not going to help much. I don't know about this pick. I think this Darkseer is actually going to have a field day up on the top lane. I could be wrong. I mean, the Anti-Mage could outfarm this, but I don't know. I think his farm's going to be pretty severely hampered. The numbers just kind of don't work out for 9-inch males, but I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Let me actually check. I've got Persian Prince on my friends list. Oh yeah, he's back in game, so he's probably just waiting for this draft to finish off so that he can hop in. So we'll have a rehost as soon as this lobby finishes off. But yeah, last 2 picks, waiting on those. Really curious how this draft is going to play out. Like I said, a lot of mid-game focus from TMC right here, and I feel like they need more damage to make their mid-game teamfight work. But you know, they're kind of looking at a support pick here. I mean, actually, I guess they don't need to. Ricky. Okay, so yeah, I was just going to say, I think they need a little bit more carry potential. And with the Bounty Hunter on a 4 position, I guess you run the Viper on the mid, and then you put the Darkseer off towards the off lane. But this is kind of a... Huh. Okay, so now you got the Bounty and the Ricky on your team. This is really weird, man. These drafts. I'm curious, because I think with the Ricky on the board, 9-inch males might actually want to go for a for some sort of a stealth detector, and I think
5 seconds remaining.
you know, well, I don't think they have room for a Slark in their draft. Maybe if they wanted to go like a Slardar with an aggro tri-lane against like the Treant Rubik or something, but even then, I think if you do that, your AM ends up having a much harder lane. So I don't know. They're gonna go for a Phoenix, but Ricky, a hero known for getting a lot of agility, which means he has a ton of attack speed to deal with that Phoenix egg. So if he doesn't get hit by the spirits, that egg is not going to last long. There is a lot of counterplay in this draft, and I'm finding it really, really interesting. I'm really curious how this game plays out. So anyways, we're going to have a disconnect here. Leave game. Yes, I'm sure I want to leave. Recreate lobby. Hosts. Wham bam. Everyone joining. Set this to all pick. Alright, we'll get this going in just a second. I'm not going to throw it to an overlay because these players should be in here pretty damn quick. Yeah, we already got 5 from 9-inch males. I'm tired. Ugh. It's up until 4 a.m. and then wake up at noon to start shoutcasting. Set team names, please. Come on. Set your team name. Yep, alright. GLHF. Bam! Into the game we go, and so this will be an all pick. Everyone will pick their the heroes that were drafted only moments ago. Man, this is such a weird game. Like, the interactions between all these heroes going to be really, really strange. Like I said, like, Ion Shell, I think in most scenarios beats the Anti-Mage. Like, I mean, he can level up the Mana Shield first to give him some more survivability against that, but even so, it still ticks quite heavily. And like I said, Treant Armor isn't going to help at all because the second that Ion Shell hits, boom, it's gone. And so, I mean, I guess you could throw the Ion Shell or the Treant Armor on the Anti-Mage to regen him between waves, but even that is a pretty far stretch. And, you know, the Viper versus the Queen of Pain mid, I think is actually a one lane for the Viper. It's really hard for Queen of Pain to win that, but she will still get her levels. Like, I don't think the Queen of Pain dies in that scenario. There's no stuns for the Viper to keep her locked down, so, you know, she can always blink out of trouble. And unless he, like, gets a Viper Strike and a couple lucky auto attacks, I don't think the Queen of Pain dies. But yeah, and then a Bounty and a Riki on the same team. And, of course, a Rubik on the other side to steal the track, use it against both Bounty and Riki, and then the Phoenix against the Riki, who, like I said, usually tends to get a lot of attack damage, and, well, not a lot of attack damage, a lot of attack speed. And on top of that, Riki is a Diffusal carrier who can purge himself of the Fire Spirits, and then thus use that to kill the Phoenix eggs. So, lots of weird stuff going on. Are these guys going to load? I better load. We only got 10 seconds. Come on. Eben. What? WTF? Again? You are not game. Leave. Alright, see if this works. Okay, so Rahul's loaded in. Persian Prince, the only person left. I wonder if there was an update or something and he got it when he closed his client. They did say he has a potato computer, so maybe he's just taking a while. Hope this works. So when do you make them play 4v5? Yeah, this is a lot of delays. Jeez. I don't even know what to say right now. First day of work in 45 minutes. Oy. Hey, there he is.
Queen.
Awesome. All right, so we're into the game. We're into the game. I did not expect that to actually load, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, everyone picking their heroes, and we're off to the races. Let's do it. So Michael says he's got work in 45 minutes. So this might be a very rushed game by TMC. They might either push like crazy or just GG early, but I think they got the lineup to push it early. I mean, like I said, as soon as you get that Riki Diffusal Blade up and maybe a mech on either Darkseid or Viper, I think his lineup can just fight. Like, you don't have to push, just fight. You know, run into the jungle, find someone, kill him. And there's not too much 9-inch Malez can do to counteract that. I mean, Anti-Mage, he's really not good at fighting early. Rubik is okay, but against this lineup, I mean, the Bounty Hunter itself will destroy the Rubik. And Lion, of course, really good against Rubik as well. It's all going to be about the positioning for this guy. Queen of Pain, same thing with her. I mean, she can fight early, but it's all about the positioning. She's got to be careful where she stands and what she does. So, definitely something to take into account, but... Anyways, getting off to the races, like I said, we are in this game finally after a very, very long time. I've left that overlay up a little bit too long there. There we go. So, we're into this game, UGC League Season 4. This is going to be Game 2 out of a 2-game series between 9-inch Malez and Too Many Creeps. Down here on the bottom lane on the side of Too Many Creeps, we're going to have... Anacletus going to be taking on the Darkseer over towards the offlane. Michael on the Viper heading towards mid. We've got Bella on that 4-position Bounty Hunter down towards that bottom lane. We've got Bren going to be playing the Ricky in the 1 position. And Rahul on the on Too Many Creeps. Over on the side of 9-inch Malez, we've got Monster playing Queen of Pain, a life. Going to be playing the Tree and Protector Princess. Going to be playing the Anti-Mage Burden over on Rubik. And down towards the bottom lane, we got Persian Prince, the guy that took forever to load. This guy is the problem. He's the problem. He's going to be taking that Phoenix down towards bottom. Bunch of stealthy little monkeys running around here on the bottom lane. I guess Bounty and Ricky both kind of look like monkeys, don't they? Ricky especially. I think he's supposed to be a monkey. I don't know. Ricky is a monkey from now on. I'm gonna refer to him as Monkey all game long. Ricky the monkey. But interestingly enough, starting with permanent invisibility, and it's not something I really expected for a safe lane Ricky. If you're getting those early last hits, you might as well just go for the backstab, because the fade time on permanent invis at level 1 is 8 seconds. And the chances of you having, like, the chances of you getting away from something within that 8 seconds are pretty small. Like, I don't think you're ever going to be in that danger. So I think the permanent invis is probably the better choice, just to kind of give you that extra bit of last hitting power. But interesting bottom lane here. We got the Phoenix and the Treant sitting here together, and they're going to be able to force that Lion away from the creep wave. I mean, he just can't trade hits with these two heavy hitting offlaners, and so they're just going to walk forward, and Ricky's going to have a really hard time getting last hits against these two, especially when the Fire Spirits start coming up from Persian Prince. Now this mid lane, a little bit interesting here. We've got Monster not wanting to get too far forward, as that Bounty is just kind of camping him out. Orb of Venom doing work, and Living Armor is going to come in towards that Queen of Pain, going to help her out, keep her alive for now. But she did start with a relatively greedy build, only 2 shared tangos, so she's going to have to be really careful with her early health as she works towards that bottle. Up on the top lane here, we got Princess and Burden, the Anti-Mage and Rubik, up against that Darkseer. And like I said, this is, you know, Princess is going to have a really hard time dealing with this Ion Shell. And you can see he's really hesitant about coming in towards that creep wave there. And, you know, double Ion Shell goes out, and Princess is just taking loads of damage. And he did start with the level 1 Spell Shield, so he's got that extra bit of resistance against this these creeps. But even so, I mean, they chase him down towards the tower. They are doing damage. And there's only so much you can defend against, and he's not able to get those last hits. Like I was saying in the draft, you are going to lose last hits to Ion Shell. It's just going to happen. Monster getting dove under the tower here, and actually, well, I'm missing that. We see the Phoenix dropping on the bottom lane. Not something I expected there. I don't know. I think it must have been Icarus Dive just getting caught out with Hex. I mean, there's no other way I think the Phoenix loses that kill there, and you know, Ricky picks up a, oh, actually, it was Lion that got the first blood, but this safe lane getting a nice early kill as the Tree Protector rotates out of lane to pick up the 2-minute rune. Sentry Ward dropped here, so Monster can see that Bounty Hunter, make sure that she's not falling to any more of his tricks or traps. Direside has a Sentry Ward here, so they do see the Bounty roaming around here, so Bounty's still level 1, not really able to make anything happen, and oh my god, wow, I am missing 2 kills now. both kills happening in places I really don't expect them. I see the Bounty roaming around, I'm like, oh yeah, Bounty might get a kill here. Nope, it's in another lane. So clearly wherever the bounty is, the kills are not going to happen. But anyways, yeah, pressure continues up on this top lane, and Anti-Mage is out of regen 3 minutes in, and he had 2 stacks of tangos that are now completely gone. The Rubik can help him out with regen for now, but he is having a really rough time. I think he's going to try to rush towards that Ring of Health and use that to kind of out-regen the Ion Shell damage, but even so, it's going to do a lot of work against him. I mean, like I said, that Ion Shell damage, it's just huge. Like, what do you do against it? Like I said, Living Armor isn't going to help. Ring of Health might, but even so, you're still getting your creep wave pressured underneath the tower. You still have the last hit against your own tower. It's just not an ideal scenario. Bounty Hunter now has his level 2, roaming towards mid. He's got an Ion Shell on him. Not going to last for too much longer, though. And like I said, there is a sentry here to watch out for that. So Monster should be relatively safe, and Bounty can't really get much out of this. He is going to get 2 Bounty Runes in a row, but that still doesn't even put him at level 3. So Bounty not having the greatest game at the moment, but we'll see how that goes as it continues on. Bounty is kind of a hero that just rebounds once he hits 6 because of track and the damage it can do. Haste Rune onto Rahul here, and they're moving in towards mid, looking for Monster. Will they be able to bring her down? They do indeed, and she gets a Scream of Pain off, but nowhere to blink, really. I mean, even if she blinks back, the Lion is there with a Haste Rune, and he had wasted all of his spells, but he's got another one here, and actually they're going in underneath the tower onto a Life who came in to try to help out the Queen of Pain, and Michael's just going to TP right back out, making sure that he does not get picked off by anyone who supports in, or who rotates in to support, and a couple clean kills there. I think TMC is really happy with what they got out of that. And on bottom, Ricky, 3 points in backstab right now, so he has gone a little more towards that backstab build, giving him that last hit power he needs, but I guess the level 1 Ambus was just kind of to get himself the bounty rune, but they didn't end up needing it as there was no brawl for that bottom rune. Princess, yeah. Actually, he went for a Ring of Regen instead of a Ring of Health. So, what's he got on the courier? Yeah, Boots and a Circlet. So, really, he doesn't have the regen he needs. Like I've said, I figured he might just walk over to the side shop, pick up that Ring of Health, and that might give him the, that gives... Oh, okay. So he's got Tranquils up nice and early. I guess that's going to be his tool to farm against the Ion Shell. But oh, interesting. Okay, so he's disassembling his boots so that he keeps the regen while he fights the creep wave, and then he's going to get the Tranquils back from Rubik. That's actually kind of a cool way to do this. Like I said, you really need to be creative to deal with this Ion Shell, and that's exactly what they're doing. I'm sure we'll see Rubik give that Ring of Protection back over, and then they'll disassemble it, pull it apart again. But interesting, really interesting. Like I said, lots of weird interactions going on in this game that we're gonna have to keep track of. But Bounty's still roaming around, hanging up in the top river. He's only level 3 right now, though, and he's really aching to find some kills. He's gotten 1 assist so far, but he just doesn't have anything to... He doesn't have enough levels to have the damage to shut anyone down at this point. I think the living armor and the mobility on the side of 9-inch males is going to be a huge problem for this bounty as the game continues on. And he's looking underneath the tower. He's going to drop a ward aggressively under the tower here so they can see everything. And if they want to dive, maybe they can, but I really don't think they can do anything. I mean, the Rubik Telekinesis is going to be enough to push them away if they charge in, and of course the Anti-Mage always has the blink to get him out of trouble. Down on bottom lane, Ricky's starting to have a little bit of an issue with this Phoenix as the Fire Spirits are up. I mentioned this interaction earlier. Once those Fire Spirits are up, Ricky's going to have a really hard time last hitting, even if he does have that backstab. I mean, just the attack speed slow is going to be monstrous, so he's going to have to be really careful about his positioning, make sure that he doesn't get hit with those spirits, and for now he's just going to back up as the wave is pushing towards him. Mid lane, Michael and Monster trading relatively even. The Lion is going to come in, actually gets a Hex off, and there's going to be the Earth Spike to follow it up. Monster gets Viper Striked, and even though he blinks away, he's going to end up taking a fall. Phoenix jumps in, but doesn't have the ultimate to use, and Viper's going to get another kill. Oh my god, this is just... The Michael is just monstrous right now. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Ricky realizes the Phoenix is gone and goes for a dive in onto the Treant Protector. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Anacletus finds the Anti-Mage a little bit too far out from his tower, and they get another kill. That's 4 kills across the map in 3 different lanes. Oh, that is just... It's just disastrous for 9-inch males right now. TMC playing this really, really well and just acknowledging when the rotations come out, and they know they have the grounds to make that aggression happen. And Viper, I mean, that's twice in a row now that this Quap has died to a really unfortunate line gank. The first one, you couldn't really blame her for. It was a haste rune in through behind the tower. There was really nowhere for her to run. But this time, Lion literally just walked right up the high ground, and Quap just stood there. I mean, there was no way she didn't see the line. So she must have been looking somewhere else. Maybe she was looking at the rune spawns. Maybe she was looking at another lane or something. But Lion just walked up and got a hex that he really had no right getting. And, you know, once the hex happens, Monster's done. That's, you know, that's all you can really, that's all you can really extrapolate out of that scenario. But, 7-1, and Princess not farming as well as he could be. Meanwhile, top lane, Viper Strike goes out on Burden. The Bounty Hunter is there to help him out, but will he be able to drop Burden before anything else, any other support comes in? They will indeed. Michael gets another kill, has that haste rune still active, could maybe go for more, but there was a TP coming in, and so they can't, they cease their charge, retreat back into their own side of the tower, but Princess, once again, super duper low, and yeah, he's going to be forced to blink into the trees here. He's got a Quelling Blade so he can cut his way back out and blink out when that comes up, but he's facing so much pressure here on the top lane. Like I said, the Darkseer, who actually has more last hits than the Anti-Mage himself, has kind of just been running the show up here. This top tier 1 is going to drop. No question about it. The top tier 1 is gone. And yeah, Anti-Mage forced out of lane. Ricky's still sitting about 20 last hits above him, and he's got a kill to his name as well, so this early game looking really good for TMC. Can they turn this into a into mid game dominance, though, is the question. Like I said, their early game push and their team fight is monstrous, but I think their 6-slot carry potential is quite a bit less than 9-inch Malez. So they're really gonna have to pressure, put a lot of damage into these towers early on, and just kind of group up as 5 and start crushing down towers, start crushing out these team fights, and yeah, it is going to be the Sanj and Yasha from Viper. Unless he uses that Sanj to build into a Silver Edge, which I guess is actually a potential because both Anti-Mage and Rubik both suffer greatly from Break. I mean, Anti-Mage, he's all passives. It disables both Mana Break and Spell Shield if you get that Silver Edge up on him. And, of course, the bottom lane. Maybe we have an engagement here. Phoenix goes for a dive in. Gonna pop off. The stun is gonna be enough damage to catch Ricky. No, he just barely walks out of range, and that's gonna be it. Queen of Pain maybe gonna go for a blink here. Is she gonna find a blind scream? No, she's not. She was thinking about it. She can watch it. She was thinking about it.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under
up on top, Darkseer continues to pressure out the Anti-Mage and is just trading Ion Shell for last hits. And yeah, Darkseer just walks underneath the tower, no fear at all, and it does look like he is going to be the one getting that mechanism up. I talked earlier about how Mana Break just to cancel out the TP keeps him from going bottom. I guess that's not really too big an issue. This the 9-inch Malez crew on the bottom lane has backed out already, so Darkseer is just going to sit up here. I think he's just happy to continue spamming out the Ion Shell and continue owning this wave. How can I watch the game from My Revenge? Is there another stream? I'm not sure My Revenge even plays in UGC. I think you're looking at a totally